Hi everyone, Lori here, and we are on to our knees. So we're going to do a practice that is going to focus on knees and knee safety. Our knees are really a very delicate joint. It is a hinge joint. It only moves in one direction, and there's muscles that help us keep it stable and keep it safe. So today's practice is about focusing on the muscles, the quadriceps, the inner thigh, the outer thigh, and even the hamstring, and how that protects our knee in stable positions. So there are a few props I need you to get. So a rolled up blanket like the one back there, a block, or if you have a hard pillow, that will be good. And that's it. Let's start our practice. So I'm going to ask you to start, and we're going to try to be really nice to our knees. So I'm going to get you to start on your mat in Dandasana with your rolled up blanket. If you don't have a blanket, then use a towel, or if you have the blanket, you can just roll it up there. The other thing you might need too is a strap. I should have mentioned that. If you don't have a strap, a yoga strap, it's okay. Just use a tie or a strap from a bathrobe or something like that. So I'm going to start you here, and I'm just going to have us seated in Dandasana, but with the blanket under our knees. I just want you to just have a moment to arrive to your mat. Really important that we find our breath to be here. Just give your legs a little wiggle. So I don't want you to feel too stressed. And then just remove your hands. Just sit naturally. And as you sit naturally, feel the ladder of your spine grow with an inhalation. And as you exhale, broaden the front of your body. And just arrive. And then do that again. Inhale fully. Exhale, front of your body broadens. And just let your eyes open. You bring your hands to either side of your body. And I want you to push down on the right leg. So when you're pushing down on the right leg, the back of your knee is going to be on the blanket. And just watch how the foot rises, how the quadriceps start to engage. We're going to give our femur bone, our thigh bone, a little bit of a hug. You're going to take your big toe and just rotate it inwards and just feel what happens to the leg when you do that. And then come back out again. And then do that again. Rotate it inwards. Maybe rub your hand onto your thigh and feel the muscle as you unwrap it. And then do that one more time. Inside the toe comes inwards. And then release that. Bring your hands to either side. Pick up your left leg. So same thing. Flex your foot. You're already going to feel your quadricep engage. And then move your toe into the inside. And then back again. And then do that again. Move your toe into the inside. And then back again. I'm feeling how that affects the muscles in and around the knee. And then back again. Do that one more time. Lift and draw your toe inwards. And then back again. Let the leg relax. Let the legs just kind of give them a little shake. We're going to do that with both legs at the same time. Lifting up nice and tall, pushing out of the heels, flexing the feet, and then draw your toes in and then out again. We'll give a really deep conscious thought to the quadriceps, to the hamstrings, to the inner and outer thighs. Pull them in and then back again one more time. Draw the toes in and then back out again. So just that understanding that the legs are very, very involved in the knee stability, around the quads especially. I'm going to take away my blanket. You want to use that for the back of your head as a little pillow. You can. We're going to come onto our backs completely. And as you do so, we're going to engage through the upper body, through the lower body to our cat and cow. So try to be really nice with the knees. Just bring your knees over your hips and pause here. Now think of yourself in in all fours. So in tabletop. And so here we go, thinking of ourselves in tabletop, recognizing that there's a lot of work happening in the legs just here. So we're going to start to instigate the core through kind of an upside down cat and cow. So you're going to pull your knees to the ceiling, your hands to the ceiling, long arms, and then release, come back down. And then do that again. Knees and hands lift towards the ceiling, and then come back down again. And then one more time, knees and hands lift towards the ceiling, and then come back down again. Okay, release the arms now. Keep the legs where they are, starting to instigate the core so we have a little stability there. Always looking to build the stability from the feet to the knees, into the hips, and then the core. You're going to just take one heel, draw it down, and then lift it up. Take the other heel, draw it down, and then lift it up. Do that, keep doing that on each side. You're going to start to feel the hip flexors start to contract, giving them some thought. Now draw the both knees up. If you can, extend both legs to the ceiling. Start to feel the tailbone drawing down, so you want to keep strong. Option to keep those knees bent at any time. And then just draw one heel down, let it hover, extend, and really flex out of the feet. And then draw that leg up, other leg comes down, extend, kick both legs out again, and then come back to center. Remember, you can have your knees bent. We're going to do one more time each side, draw it away, and then lift it back up. Nicely done. One more time, draw the leg away, and then lift it back up. Bend the knees again. Bring your hands to the back of your legs and let momentum draw you up. Now you're going to stay in this tall V shape. Toe heel your feet apart. Lift your heart up a little higher. And then we're going to take our block or your firm pillow, and we're just going to start to instigate the inside of your thighs, because we're going to do this standing, but I want you to do it seated first. So just draw yourself down again, okay? And then I want you to take your feet, push them to the ground. Think about using your feet as the anchor, and then just squeeze your inner thighs together. Bring your arms overhead, and just to keep extending them all the way long. And I want you to think about being in chair pose here. So when we're in chair pose, when we start to stand, you're going to start to feel this in a different way, but always instigating the inner thigh. The inner thigh is way, way, way less strong than the outer thigh. So we want to draw stability there. And then hands come to the side. And now when you lift your knees up, you're going to have to engage through the core and draw the legs up. Hold here. Keep squeezing the inner thighs. Flex the feet. And then draw the feet down again. One more time. Push all the way up. Knees come up towards the ceiling. Pause here. Now really push into the inner thighs and try to release your bum in this. Good. And then draw it back down. Nicely done. We're going to take the block away. We're going to draw ourselves up. Swing your legs back. And I'm going to push my blanket away. And I'm going to pop up onto downward facing dog. So go ahead and join me here. And start to pedal your heels. We like doing this to instigate the stretch through the hamstrings. Of course, the hamstrings, a big part in the whole flexion and extension of the knees. So go ahead and draw your heels down one at a time. Make a big bend in the knee, just feeling and kind of milking the joints here, ankles and knees, hips, even the shoulders. Good. Stay here for a breath. I want you to come up onto the tippy toes again. Draw the front leg all the way back, straighten it, and then the back leg all the way back. Draw your shoulders to your ears so we're really strong here in the upper body to protect, and then draw your heels back down. Go ahead and feel the stretch in the back of the legs. Rejoice in the length. Look at the top of your mat. Bend your knees. Send your right foot forward, and then your left. Go ahead and come halfway up. Okay, I want you to feel how it's like to load the legs with your weight. Now remember, when we're loading the legs with our weight, we're actually putting quite a lot of weight relative to the rest of the body on the joints. So bend your knees. Be very generous. Put your fingertips to the ground. And then push into all four corners of your feet so you really feel the connection to the earth.
Go ahead and lift the tailbone up, let the head drop down, and just pause here for a full second. Inhale, come halfway up. As you do so, lengthen the legs. Bring your hands to the top of your thighs, and go ahead and balance your tailbone. Lift it, lift it, lift it. Push into the tops of your thighs. Feel a beautiful stretch in the back of the legs. And then exhale, fold forward. Good. Bend the knees again. Start to lift up, and you're going to float all the way up. Come into standing. And I want you just to bring your hands to your heart center. Close your eyes down. Feel the balance of your spine. And as you push into all four corners to the feet, I want you to feel the energy. It's almost like an electrical current coming up the feet, into the calves and shins, and wrapping themselves around the knees. Okay, and as you do so, push a lot so that you can feel your arches create the space required that pulls up into the knee joint. Inhale, lift up. And as you exhale, fold forward, bend your knees again. Go ahead and feel the gentle kind of ebb and flow of the joint. And then I want you to find your block again. And then take it and drop between your legs, the top part of your thigh. So we're coming into this forward fold. Start to lift. As you start to lift, you're going to feel the need to pull the inner thighs together. It's going to be very, very strong. Good. Bend your knees again. Do that again. Lift up. Pull through this. By drawing the inner thighs together, you're going to feel the length in the outside of the legs as well. Draw the knees down again. Now I want you to stay down. Bring your hands to your hips. Coming into chair pose. Inhale the arms all the way up. And go ahead and feel the connection. Go ahead and draw the knees in together by using the inner thighs. And see if you can let go of your glutes here. Go ahead, take a deep breath in. Exhale, hands come down. Lift the hips and draw your head back down. One more time. Drop the hips. Go ahead and draw it all the way up. Now feel that connection through the inner thighs. Draw the heart a little higher. Relax the shoulders. And then draw yourself all the way down and up. Let the head drop. You can remove the block now. Bring it back. Hands come to the ground. You're going to take the right leg back and then the left. Coming up into a high push-up. Now, option to be in low push-up if you like. Stay here for a full breath. Push into the pads of your fingers and then lift up. Come into downward facing dog again. Feel the stretch in the body. Inhale here. Exhale, roll all the way over. Now, we're all going to come down onto the knees. You're going to drop to the tops of your feet. And as you push into the tops of your feet, feel the energy moving up the legs, and then draw yourself all the way down into Cobra. Now, when you push into the tops of your feet here, when you're going to really feel the lift of the knees, that's the function of the tension we're putting in the quadriceps, in the hamstrings. Inhale here, curl the toes under. Exhale, downward facing dog. There's the length. There's the stretch. There's the notion of everything wrapping around through the femur bone. Bend the knees. Look at the top of your mat. Send the right foot forward and then the left. Inhale, halfway up. Go ahead and pull the quads inwards. And then exhale, fold forward. Bend the knees. Go ahead, pull it all together again. And then come back to chair pose. Pause here. Now imagine that block between the thighs. It's pulling the inner thighs together. Pause here. Hands come to heart and then lift all the way up. Release the arms. Come to Dandasana. Feel the energy again. Up through the legs. And then inhale, lift. Exhale, fold forward. Bend the knees. You're going to take that front foot, send it back. So toe heel that front foot back. Okay, so for me, it's the left foot. You're going to just start to move the knee, move the hips. It's almost like you're making circles with your knee around the ankle. So you're going to find that sweet spot where the knee lines up over the ankle. Okay, so it's very obvious that there's support here. Okay, drop the back heel. Now, as you push into all four corners of that front foot, you're going to feel the arch fire up, protecting, engaging the muscles all the way up the shin, into the knee, and then we inhale and come up into warrior one. Keep a deep breath for you. Inhale here. Exhale. Relax. Now, as you push into both feet, I want you to feel that kind of spiral energy through the inner thighs. So in the front leg, it spirals in and around. In the back leg, it spirals back and out. Draw breath into the body. Inhale here. Exhale. Good. And then draw that leg tall. Hands to the hips. So when we draw that leg tall, again, that knee joint is tracking to the toes. From here, take the back foot, bring it parallel to the back of the mat. Now, the back knee is running towards or in the same direction as the back toes. Arms will light up into warrior one. Again, a lot of attention on the pull of the inner thigh and the front leg and the spiral of the back leg. Stay here for a full breath. Inhale. Exhale. So it's almost like you magnetize that inner thigh to start to contract again. Draw another breath in. Take the top arm, reach up, find the sun, and just let that arm come so you feel this stretch even through the top part of the rib cage. And then as you exhale, go ahead and draw yourself into side angle pose. Here, there's a lot of demand on the legs. Protect the knees. So the tracking is really important here. And then exhale, come back to warrior two. Take a dry breath in. And come back to tall legs. You're going to switch the legs now. So both toes are pointing forward. Stay here for a breath. Push into all four corners of your feet. And then drawing yourself up, almost like there's a trickle effect up the body. Just go ahead and draw yourself into forward fold. Let the head hang. Let the shoulders relax. Toes are pointing forward now. Both knees are pointing in the same direction. Stay here for a breath. Lift the tailbone. And then walk the hands back a little closer to the body. Now take the right foot or the other foot, point it towards the top of your mat, and then come up into warrior two on this side. So notice a lot of emphasis on where the knee is floating towards and where the toes are pointing. Inhale here. Remind yourself you're very strong. There is a contraction happening. And then exhale, come into the sun on this side, lifting through the rib cage, creating space, and really drawing that inner thigh turning inwards. Exhale, take the arm all the way over and bring it all the way up into extended side angle. Take a deep breath in here. Go ahead and draw all that energy in. Notice where your knees are in space. Feel them supported in space. Come back to warrior two. Pause here. As we pick up the hands, draw them to the hips. Pick up the back ankle, so the long leg ankle, and draw that leg. Draw the heel inwards. Draw the hips forward, and we float up into warrior one. So coming full circle in the postures. Draw a deep breath in here. Exhale. Inhale again. Push into the four corners of the feet. And then exhale. Draw your hands back to hips. Draw both toes forward. Pause here. And then exhale. Find your way back down into the wide angle forward fold. Now you may need to toe heel in a little bit. That's fine. When you do so and push into all four corners of the feet, remember, we stabilize through the ankles. Pause there. Maybe hold on to your ankles. And then feel as you push into all four corners of your feet, you can actually see the inner calf and the inner thighs start to really find their way into strength. Inhale here. Exhale. Bend the knees. Toe heel together. Bring your hands to your legs and then rise all the way up with the chest, and we're in goddess pose.
Legs, again, knees tracking to the toes, specifically the second toe. And then just feel your hands on your inner thighs. And I want you to feel the contraction so it's all the way through. Now try to contract without squeezing your bum. Okay, so you're really isolating here. Inhale, bring your arms to goddess. Draw your shoulders back, lift your heart, and then draw the legs back. So typically we roll inwards. I'm asking you to really focus on drawing the energy towards the back body. That's it. Stay here for a breath. Push deeper into the feet. You've got to feel this in the inner thighs. The outer thighs are there. They feel it too. And then inhale, rise all the way up. Make a big X with your body. And then toes forward, toe heel together. Step or jump into Tadasana. And just pause here for a breath. So there's no doubt that the muscles are firing. Stay here again. And release. I'm just going to swing it out a little bit. Let the legs feel that mat under you. And we're coming into a stability posture that's really requiring us to focus on that long trunk. So we're going to tree pose. So I'm going to ask you to start in Tadasana. And we're going to draw that attention all the way up the body. So focus on something in front of you. Your drishti is very important. It's going to anchor you. Now to keep the stability in the knee, I'm going to ask you to draw both sets of both sets of arches upwards. So it's like we're cupping the ground with our feet. And then just feel that energy float up. See if you can release the glutes a little bit as you feel a little more pressure on the left leg. Lift the right heel without dumping into that hip. Because boy, oh boy, that causes a lot of misalignment. We're drawing it right under the shoulder towards the knee. There you go. Take your hands, draw them to heart center. Stay here for a breath. Find the base of your spine. Lift from it, and then lift the knee. Pause here. Draw your breath out. Now really focus on that supporting leg. As you draw the leg out, follow it with your toes, yeah? And then just draw the foot to the inside of the calf. If you want to bring it all the way up the thigh, you can. But the focus here is the stability around that supporting leg. Find your ground. When you do, feel supported and grow. Draw a deep breath in. Exhale, draw your hands back to heart center. Release the leg, draw it center again, and then tap down. Good, and then let it flow. So you're going to give that foot a little of a break. Coming back to tall body, coming back to Tadasana. Ask the earth to draw the energy from it. Now feel your right leg and capture all the muscles that support it. Hands to heart center. Find your drishti. And without shifting your weight into the right, lift the left knee heel. Stay here. Ask the muscles to fire up even more now as you balance and inhale the leg up. Inhale the leg out. And then draw your foot to the inside of your calf. Again, if you want to bring that foot all the way to the thigh, go for it. Avoid the knee. Remember, it's only in one direction. And then this time, grow again, any way you like. Exhale. Draw your hands back to heart center. Release the leg. Bring it back to center. And then draw it down. Good. And then just let yourself float again. Okay, so we've been very mindful of the legs and where they are in relation to the knees. We're going to come back to the ground. I'm going to ask you to grab your block or your firm pillow again. We've been here before, and we're going to do this again, only this time we're going to come into a little strength for the whole body. So bring your block again between your legs, so just above the knee, but into the thighs. Okay, hands come down. Now we did this at the beginning. Now I want you to think about pushing into the feet. I want you to push into all four corners of the feet.
And we're going to lift the hips up, but not through the hips, but through the energy of the legs. So keep pushing the feet down, generate that contraction, and then lift the hips up and pause here. Okay, so we are in mini bridge. It's just a little sensation. Tuck your chin in to elongate the spine and keep drawing the inner thighs in and let go of your bum. So we are really just focusing on that inner thigh. So it's a little more than just bringing it together. Good. And then push into the feet to draw the hips back down again. Okay, we're going to do that again. You may need to adjust where your feet were. That's fine. Push into the feet. Push, feel the inner thighs drawing together. And then lift up. As you do so, try to let go of the bum. And just keep drawing yourself long. See if you can line up your tailbone with your hips. So there's a contraction more in the legs here. Keep pulling this option. And interlace your fingers behind you. Lift the shoulders up a little higher and find full bridge here. Stay here. If you want to make this a little more challenging, just lift the heels. Keep drawing the inner thighs in more than the glutes. Wherever you are, draw the heels down. If they're up, release the hands. Push into the legs to draw the hips down. So you can really feel how much more power there is in the legs when we use them in a posture like that. Okay, nicely done. Release the block. This is the time we're going to take our strap. Okay, and I'm going to put it in to the back leg or my left leg. I'm going to bring it to the ball of the foot, and when I draw myself back, I'm going to enjoy a beautiful hamstring stretch to thigh. So start to kick the heel away. Option is to bend this knee. It might be a little easier. So as we lengthen the leg, I want you to try to get a long leg. Avoid the bend in this. Okay, so just a long leg. Keep kicking it away. So lovely hamstring stretch. Remember when you pulled the toe to the center when we were in Dandasana or staff pose? I want you to do that again. Pull the toe in. It's almost like your whole thigh bone is rotating. So it's just kind of that acknowledgement. Change hands now, and then just draw that leg to the inside of the body. So you're just giving that outer thigh a stretch, even into the IT band. Keep kicking the leg away. Draw a breath back into center, maybe having both hands here now. And then exhale, bend the knee, and let it go. And of course, we're going to just switch sides. So taking the right foot or right front foot, wrapping the strap at the ball of the foot. I want you just to hold on with the same side. Okay, the knee is bent or long, it doesn't matter. You're going to know where your back needs to be. Now keep kicking your heel up. And same thing now. Draw the toe in and then out. So this might be a little more difficult because your knee is not supported, but you just want to feel the muscles start to fire. Stay here for a breath. Exhale. Switch hands. Release the other arm and then just drag that leg towards the center. You won't be able to go very far. I want you to feel that stretch all the way to the outside of the hip. So that's where we cross over into the outer thigh, the IT band. It's not a big movement, but very powerful. Good, and then come back to center. Pause here, and then slowly bend the knee and let it go. And then just let your feet lie side by side. It's a good idea to just windshield wiper your legs. It's a nice release for the lower back. And just pause when you're on one side and just feel yourself into a twist. Lift and move your head to the other direction. Lift your head, come back to center, bring it all over to the other side. Lift your head and then look in the other direction. Again, just a nice release for the lower back. Whenever we're stretching our hamstrings, it's an invitation for the lower back release as well.
feels amazing. Come back to center. Pause here. And just let your body come out long. Come into Shavasana. And just stay here for another 2 or 3 full circles of breath. Feel the heaviness of your legs. Give some thought to the entire muscles that wrap themselves or protect your knee, the front of your thighs, the back of your thighs, your inner thighs and your outer thighs, and the heavy bone of your femur, your thigh bone, and the gentle placement of your kneecap or your patella. And just let all those bones sink into the ground. Let the next breath bring in a little more vitality, a little more energy. Inhale. Exhale. Let it go. Good. Draw your feet onto the ground. I want you just to shoot your bum back a little bit. Roll over to lift. And then just come back into a seated posture where we end our practice in one long body. Bringing your hands to heart center and reminding yourselves of the gentleness, the amazement, and the gratitude for our knees. Just bring your hands to your knees, give them a little rub, say thank you, maybe even scooch back into a little cat and a little cow, give them a little rub again, say thank you. These marvelous machines of our legs. With your hands to heart center, I give you a resounding namaste. Have a wonderful day, and your knees will be very happy with you all day long.